Buongiorno everyone, my name is Michael Blackwell and welcome to the House of Calls video where we're going to show you how you can implement our form to call software into your Weebly website. Now normally you're going to want to hire a programmer or maybe someone from our staff to help you with this, but we know there's a few adventurers and ninjas out there that want to try this on themselves before they actually go hire somebody. So if you can follow through with this, it's actually not too hard, but if you can follow along you can do this yourself and you don't have to pay that fee every time to have it implemented. However, the reason we do it this way, other form to call systems use an email address. We use an API string, which means it has to be implemented professionally to ensure quality. This means that no matter what, every single time your phone will ring within that 10 seconds and connect the call. There are no glitches. There are no servers to worry about. You don't have to worry about Weebly servers. This is all done through ours, which means implemented correctly, it works the same way every single time without hiccup. So enough salesmanship, let's get into it. Open up your Weebly website. You're going to want to make sure that you have a form, and that form has to have a phone number section. How we're going to call them if they don't have a phone number. So if you're unfamiliar with Weebly, maybe you should just skip this whole video. But if you are, go ahead and click the contact form, drag a phone number section in there, and that'll be the best way for us to get started. Now, there is a document that comes with this that we have prepared for you. It might look like a little bit of gibberish, but that's called JavaScript. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow through this. If you see anywhere with these two slanted lines, anyways, two slashes, that is a comment telling us that what's about to happen. This is not actual code doing anything. This is code that's trying to help you understand what goes on right below it. So these little areas there. So what we're going to do first is we're going to replace your CID, and that's this right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that number. Make sure that you have just the two ticks, the two apostrophe ticks between there. Go ahead and log into your House of Calls account. You should be able to go up here and see an area that says My Numbers and Form to Call. We're going to go ahead and click Form to Call. Now we need to set up a campaign and we need to have everything rolling for us there. Okay, so it looks like we have the HOC testing number set up here. I'm going to go ahead and just set up a new one just so we can see what this is like. So I'm going to hit New Campaign for you. And we're going to name it. So let's just do demo. So we have our name. So you can put your business name in there or whatever. I'm going to put a destination number here. And then the whisper message is usually like, this is a lead from your website. And you'll notice I spelled lead, L-E-E-D. I'm not dumb, I know it's L-E-A. But our robot system pronounces the L-E-A-D as lead. So let's say, hey, you have a new lead from your website. So the fix for that, you spell it L-E-E-D, and it says, hey, you have a lead from your website. Now, what we've done in our software, you don't have to do this if you don't want to get that in depth, but what we've done is we've included this little area below where it'll actually whisper the user's name and the reason that they're calling. I don't want to advance this yet, so let's just go into the basics and say that this is a lead from your website. And then this call may be recorded. I'm going to leave that there. This call may be recorded for training purposes, and we'll hit submit. Okay, so you'll see we have the demo here. We do not have a source number, so let's go set that up. Let's add a number to this campaign, and it's going to be our 412 number right there. Okay, so you'll see now we have a form to call campaign set up nice and correctly. So what we're going to do next is we're going to hit actions over here to the one we just set up, and we're going to go down to get campaign ID. And what this is this is our way of copying it to the website to say, hey, this needs to play together. So disregard all of this stuff down there. That's for the programmers. We just want this little number right here. So I'm going to hit copy to clipboard. You can see it's been copied. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that document that I had opened, and we're going to paste that right in there, okay? So make sure that there are no spaces on either side of the tick, okay? And that looks like it's good. So now what we're going to do is we need to inspect the form ID. And the way to do that is your Weebly website has to be either, editable or previewable or published, okay? So what I'm going to do is instead of doing this in the edit menu, I'm actually going to publish the site, and then we're going to get it from there. So let me go ahead and put this on a subdomain. And I am a human, I'm not a robot. So much so a human, I'm wearing my favorite shirt today. Because you guys all care about my clothing and what I like to wear. Alright, so now we have this thing published, and that's just a little hiccup that you guys shouldn't have to go through. So we have hoctest.weebly.com. It's the south corner barber template. Alright, sorry my internet's going a little slow today, guys. We're a little bogged down here at the house. So, alright, so what we have here is we have a live website. What we need to do is get this form ID number. And the way we do that is something that you might not have ever used. If you have a Google Chrome or like Mozilla Firefox, I do not think Internet Explorer has it, and I don't think Safari has it. So make sure you're using Google Chrome or like Mozilla Firefox. Specifically, if you're going to use our House of Calls app, Internet Explorer, or anything in the world, Internet Explorer is just asking for viruses. It's a very highly unprotected software browser. So you'll notice, and I just did that without explaining it, so let me do that again. If you ever right-click something anymore on your browser, you'll notice you get this little inspect button. That's what we need right here, okay? So what I need you to do is on the first part here where it says name, I need you to right-click the word on there and hit inspect. And it'll bring up either a pop-up window or a little thing like this with all this jargon in it, okay? And what I need you to look for is I need you to find this area right here that says form. It'll be a caret and then the word form. And as you go through here, you'll see things like action, method, and then ID. That is what we want right there, is that ID. So you can see how in between the quotations I have that copied. Well, we're gonna copy that. We're gonna switch over to our document. And then right there, you see how it has the number sign, what is that, ampersand, form, and then the hyphen? Well, just to show you what I copied, I'm going to paste it right here. So I have the whole word form and then the number. So what we need to do is we need to keep that ampersand right there, or the pound sign rather. And then we need to paste that in. Now you see when I pasted that in, it put a space in here. Make sure that those are gone. So it should just be apostrophe, the pound sign, and then your form dash number, and then apostrophe. No spaces. Okay. Now, to you non-programmers out there, there are two ways that you can submit a form. You can actually, literally, click the button right here that says submit. Or some of you have done, when you're done, like you'll type in your email right here. Keyboard's falling off. You would actually hit enter or return and it would submit it. So those are called selectors. There are two selectors that can submit this form. So in our coding, we have prepared for that. Right here we have put in the website button. So I'm not going to do it because I don't think I need to, but you might, in some cases, if you have an issue with the button not working, you're going to have to go in there and put the ID in front of it. And I'll get into that in a help section. You shouldn't have to do that here, but so let's go to our next section. Sorry if that bothered you by distraction. We need to replace the phone number form here. So just like we did before, remember how we placed the form? We're going to replace this input section right here. And what we're going to replace it with is the phone number. So go to your form, and guess what? You're going to right-click the phone number section, and you're going to hit inspect. Okay, let me get rid of this so it doesn't bother us here with distractions. So right-click the phone number field right there and hit inspect. And you'll see when I put my mouse on it, it actually highlights, and I know you can't see where I'm pointing, but it actually highlights the field right here when I hover over this area here. So that tells me we have the right area. So what we're going to do is we're going to, once again, input, and then there's the ID. We're going to double click in there, and we just want the area between the quotation marks. And we're going to copy that. And you guessed it, go back to our code. In our code, you guessed it again, we're going to keep the pound sign and we're going to erase everything after before that little asterisk. So when I delete, it should be an asterisk, an apostrophe, a dollar sign, an apostrophe, a pound sign, and an apostrophe. So if we go ahead and right click and hit paste, you'll see again it put in our input and a space. So let's delete the space. Okay. So what we've done so far, we put in our call ID, our CID number, we put in our form ID number, and we put in the input for the phone number right there. Okay. Technically, that alone is enough to make it work. That you can save this right now, or you can delete this area, and you'll be working. Actually, this should say we're no longer in beta. That should actually say app. So let's go ahead and save that. So then that'll be fixed when you get this. Don't worry. So now that we've done the input there for the phone number, what we're going to do next is the input for the name. We want it to whisper their name when they call us. So let's go to our form, and the name has two areas. We're going to right-click the first name. We're going to hit inspect, and then we're going to go down here. And to validate that we got the right one, notice it's highlighting the first name when I hover. So right here, the ID, that's what we want. We're going to copy the area between the apostrophes. We're going to go back to our code. And right here in the first name, you notice again it has that pound sign. We're going to keep the pound sign. And we're going to delete that. So again, apostrophe, pound sign, apostrophe. After the apostrophe, pound sign, we're going to paste. And as usual, it put a space in. We want to delete that space. Okay, do the same exact thing for the last name, only we're going to do that over here, okay? So right-click last name, hit inspect. You'll see when I hover, it actually highlights the last name, so I know I have the right place. And then once again, there's an ID right here that I need to copy. Take that ID, we're going to go over to our code, and you guessed it, we're going to get rid of that input area right there. Like rinse and repeat, paste, and delete that white space in there. Okay, so now we have our CID, we have our form ID, we have the phone number ID, and we have our first name and our last name. So right now, if we want, we can save this, and I'm going to because I want to test it as it is right now to show you that it's working. We can add one more spot, and that's called the subject. I'm not going to do that just yet because right now it's going to whisper their name and their first and their last name. But this comment area, we could even make it say subject if we wanted to and limit the number of words. We can have it whisper this when they come through, and you want to make this a small area because if we do the comment section and we have it whisper that, you're going to be whispered the entire message. So let's do this. Let's stop where we're at while we're ahead. Okay, we have our website here and we have our document all set and done. This area doesn't matter because it's commented out, and this area stays the same. So right now we are completed with this. So what we're going to do, there's still one main item we have to accomplish. And my battery's about to die, so let me go plug in before we do this next step. Computer plugged in, so let's go with this. We're almost finished. The last part is going to require you to go to a website, and this will be included in the instructions, so don't worry. You need to go to code.jquery.com. And the reason is that they give us a piece of coding that we need and it gets updated. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the jQuery 1.x right here. You're going to see two links, uncompressed and minified. We need minified. So go ahead and click jQuery 1x minified and you'll get this pop-up window. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to click this blue button over here and it's going to copy the code for us. Just a second. I want to post that in there so we have that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this to my clipboard. And you can see it's copied, okay? So we're going to save this code in our document over here. Okay, you see it's not copying for me when I click that and then I click paste. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to get in here. We're going to copy that like this. Got to work with technology, guys. It doesn't always work in your favor. So let's scroll down, give myself some room here. All right, so now that we've gone there and gotten that, let's implement our code. And the way we're going to do that is simple. Let me go back to our browser and close this out. We don't need it. Okay. So let me go into the actual area where you build your website. Okay, I'm going to close this out since we don't need it yet. Let's get into the area where you build your website, okay? And we're going to click our form. Now, you're going to have to do this on every single page that you have a form, but once you do it the first time, you're never going to have to do it again. And if you're building your website, the best way to do this is in the corner here. If you click this arrow, you can actually copy this to any page you want, or if you want to use this page as a whole, you can go into Pages and you can copy it here. That way you don't have to keep making the form every time. It just clones itself. Feel me? So back to the point, because I digress. So edit your form by clicking it, and you see how it pops up here. What we're going to do is we're going to go down here into this embed code. We're going to click and we're going to drag that as the last item on our form. So click to set it custom HTML. We'll click that, and then right here we're going to click edit. Now go back to our code. Okay. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to take this snippet and put it at the top of this document. Okay, so you see how I just took that script code and put it up there? Now, here, you're going to add that code, which I might just save this document the way it is to make it easy on everyone. However, you are always going to have to get this every time because they always change that. That's a live code. Now, everything from here down, you're going to be able to keep the same. So what we're going to do now, I put that script at the top. We just added this script tag. We need to go down to false right here, and we need to add the closing script tag. So this should be in it when you get this document. I'm doing this live, so I'm coding it as we go. But I did want to keep this in here so you guys would know what it is, but that does not need to go into our website, okay? So copy everything from here up. So you should have, it should start with a caret and script, and then you should see the closing caret and script right here, and then you should have another opening script tag, and then down right after false you should have a closing script tag. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and guess what? We're going to go to our website, and we're going to edit that HTML, and we're going to paste it in there. Boom. Okay? So, once we have that in there, we're going to hit save. Okay? And then I'm going to hit publish. Okay. So, the only thing we have to do now is test it out. So let me get my phones up and running here. Okay. So this, my mobile phone here, this is the phone that should be the business owner's phone. This is the south corner barbershop. And then this is Kathy Griffin. Ooh, why'd I go with that name? This is Kathy Tester looking for a haircut through the south corner barbershop. So let's go ahead and put Kathy Griffin, Kathy Tester in here, and see what we get. Let's do info at. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hit submit. Your form has been submitted. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. Kathy Griffin. So it's ringing, which means it works.
From your website, press any key to continue.
Alright, so I'm going to press any key. And then this should ring. Hey! So it looks like it worked. Let me go ahead and answer it. Oop. It just said recording purposes. Oop. Forgot to hit speakerphone, but it said this call may be recorded for training purposes. So it looks like it worked, which is great. That means we synced it up correctly. However, I didn't whisper the name the way I wanted it to, because we didn't set it up that way. We put the code in, but we haven't gone back, and we haven't gone into our campaign, and we haven't added the name in the subject line. So let me just show you what it's like for the name to be in there. This is a website, or a lead from your website named, and then we put in that little name with the brackets. And what happens is that little name with the brackets is going to go into the form. Whoop, forgot to hang up the phone. What that does is it goes into the form and it finds our name and it puts it there. So watch. I'm going to hit submit and save those changes. We're going to go back to this and we're going to fill it back out again. I'm going to refresh it just in case. Okay, Kathy Tester. Okay, so now we should actually hear Kathy Tester come across when I answer it. So once again, let's see, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 5 seconds.
So lead from your website named Kathy Tester. Press any key to continue.
You see how it whispered her name, Kathy Tester? So now I know her name if I want to say it. I'm going to hang this up. I'm not going to connect. So that's how you do it. That's how you sync it. And that's the cool functionality that it'll actually whisper the name. So, oh, that's a business call, my bad. So now that we have that set up, and let me go ahead and silence this because my phone does blow off the ringer all day. We want to put that subject line in. So if you want to quit now, you can quit now, but let's go one more step further and put the reason that they're calling in there. Let's close this out, and let's go back in. I want to build in an area here, and I want to have a line that just says, just like subject, reason you're calling. Okay. Call. All right, reason for contact is what we'll call it. and we'll hit save. And then what we're going to do there is we're going to hit publish again, because I need to be able to find that ID number. So we'll hit that. I'm going a little bit faster because this is rinse and repeat, so you should have learned what I'm doing. Reason for contact. We're going to find the ID number. Remember the ID number, alright? So we're going to get that. We're going to copy it. We're going to go back to our code. And right here, we have a line that says do something. We're just going to copy. Oh no, that one's the first and last name. I want to copy the one with the number, okay? And I'm probably just going to keep this in the code so that when you get it, you can just either erase it or keep it in there. But what we're going to do, we're going to cut that out. We're going to put it in here. We're going to get rid of that white space. And then we're going to change number to subject. Okay. So now what we've done is we've added another field for it to read, and again, you can only do name and subject. We have not programmed any more in there, and you can't just make them up and make them work from nothing. So we can only do name, phone number, and subject. Pardon me. So what I'm going to do now, you guessed it, not all of it, because that bottom part we don't need. I'm going to copy from script to script. I'm going to go into my edited form, and we're going to edit that custom HTML right there. So if you have problems finding it, it's because you have to hover. You see how it doesn't have anything until I hover over it? That might make it hard to find. I always put mine at the end, that way I don't have to worry. I just go from the submit button, go up, and I can click, and there it is. So we're going to delete the code that's in there, and then we're going to paste the new code we just made. Let me make sure it has that subject line in there. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so hit save, and then we're going to hit publish, and you guessed it, we are going to trial run this puppy again. So this, if all goes well, this will be the last part of this video. I'm sorry it's already this long, but that's what happens when you want new and cool things to work correctly, right? So, Kathy, let's call her, well, let's give it a difficult name. Let's say Michael. Let's just say my name. I want to hear what my name sounds like over the robot voice, so. Alright, so in theory, if this works the way it should, it's going to whisper my name and it'll say that the reason I'm calling is to tell you that you hate me. So, one thing we need to do first, you probably guessed it. Hopefully you did, because that means you're paying attention. We need to add the subject line to our whisper in House of Calls. So just because we did it on the website doesn't mean that we did it back in our software. So, Weebly HOC demo, we're going to go to edit. So let's add the subject line. This is a lead from your website named blank. Calling about, and once again those little caret things, they're not carrots, little wavy lines, and then we'll put the word subject in there and hit submit. So let's refresh this and test this puppy out, huh? Kind of curious to hear a robot say he hates me, so we'll hit submit. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6. Did I count too early?
The lead from your website named Michael Blackwell calling about this. Say that I hate you. Press any key to continue.
All the fun that we could have with this. And here's the recording. Call may be recorded for training purposes. Ooh, and then you get that infinite loop of ugh. So now we can go back into our House of Calls. We can go to, let me refresh my campaigns here. Since those were done through an actual form to call as opposed to calling, we can go next to our form to call campaigns and we can see the calls that have occurred. We can listen to them, we can change the volume, and we can download them. This area is going to get a huge upheaval, redesigning. This area is going to get a lot more focus in coming months. The reporting tools and everything is going to get a lot more advanced. This is just basic because we just launched off the ground. But here you can listen. Yeah. If we want, we can download that for ourselves or to send to our client. So the only reason there was that echo is because I had two phones in the same room, but that's how you get Form to Call to work on Weebly, guys, and that is the most advanced way to set it up. So hopefully you got down to the basics and you didn't have to go through this whole 25-minute thing for just that, but this is the entire start to finish, how to set your Form to Call up from House of Calls on Weebly. Gosh, guys, as much as this software continues to grow and as much as these videos continue to get better, I appreciate the fact that you guys are here to support this, and how much you guys allow the unprofessionalism, the fact that I'm here in my hoodie and my favorite t-shirt with an astronaut holding balloons as planets. That I just appreciate the help and the support and the fact that you guys are letting this grow because you understand that it's working and helping businesses. So thank you so much, guys. Literally, this has been just one wild adventure, and it's just going to keep going. So keep throwing us ideas that you like, feature requests that you want to see, problems you're having, issues with my clothing or anything else, just let me know. But guys, again, this is Michael Blackwell with House of Calls. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support.